I arrived in London on an autumn weekend to attend Asaf Rolef Ben-Shahar's workshop. This was not my first encounter with Asaf. I had participated in one of his workshops several years ago and was very impressed with his ability to combine professional aptitude with personal sincerity within his work. This weekend will include a workshop and a private session, allowing us a glimpse at Asaf's unique methods in the field of psychotherapy.
The hardest beliefs to change are beliefs to do with us, to do with who I am. If you were always told that you're stupid, or ugly, or good for nothing, or the best, it's very difficult to mobilize that or change it, even if we have counter-evidence for that. All my workshops have double focus. So one is for people who are interested in training or are in training as therapists, so to learn to develop skills. And there's also a second focus, which is for me more important, which is a chance for people to do their own piece of work.
My name is Tara. I find myself, every time I come to these, I've been to a few of Asaf's workshops, and every time I find myself sitting on the tube or on the train thinking, what was I thinking? You know, I'm such a sensitive person. I feel the energy. I bring myself to this workshop because the first workshop I ever did with you, Asaf, something came up, and also Debbie, she's a good friend of mine, has mentioned resonance, and I would like to be able to manage it as well. So I look forward to exploring it.
Once every few weeks, Asaf holds an IMT workshop in central London. IMT, Integrative Mind-Body Therapy. Asaf combines therapeutic elements from several methods including body psychotherapy, psychodynamic psychotherapy, trance work, and transpersonal levels. For Asaf, the healing process is a shared journey between himself and his clients, allowing for new developments in life.
IMT started as integrative massage therapy. And only in the last few years I changed it to mind-body therapy. It's a system that tries to bring together three worlds that have been for many decades quite separate. The world of psychodynamic and psychoanalytic psychotherapy, which is a more traditional way of working psychotherapeutically. One is the world of body work and body psychotherapy, noticing body and noticing movement and working with these and with touch. And the world of hypnosis and NLP, which introduces both capacity of working differently with unconscious. Our bodies pick up on surroundings. This is resonance. If I'm here, I'm really aware of the entire group. I feel my own anxieties. I feel a lot of excitement. When I come here, I think the first thing that happens to me is I slow down. This is valid. This means that the I that is in relationship with you changed.
My name is Paul. It's nice to be here. Resonance, in the way that Asaf describes it, is something I know I do. And I would like to be more effective in how I use it, when I use it, when I choose not to use it. I'd like to use it in my work, obviously, more effectively, and have some fun with it, actually.
I do not follow myself a medical model where I would be doing something to you, treating you. I engage with you. I offer my attention. I am prepared to listen to absolutely everything you have to say. And I'm prepared to, as a body psychotherapist, to explore that sometimes in an embodied way. This kind of work is based on contact and contactfulness.
So start with your right hand, start brushing your left hand, and then close your eyes, noticing, and then letting go, just brushing it a little bit.
The combination of his technique and personality bring a fascinating variety of people to Asaf's workshop. Therapists, professionals, housewives, artists, and others all share a common goal to liberate themselves from their painful history, which may inhibit them from leading happy and meaningful lives. Here they will learn how to experience life as a journey that facilitates breakthroughs, growth, and personal development.
It's so sad. Thank you for listening.
I was born here in London. My first job was to follow my father into the gas industry, into engineering. I stayed in the gas industry for 18 years, so I ended up being in charge of large-scale IT infrastructure, relocations and commissionings. Lots of money. I had a really nice posh house in the middle of a beautiful place in Bristol, a partner. The best job. All my friends said I had the best job. I studied something called neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. And my work paid for it because it was a good management tool for motivating people and for getting people to communicate properly in a team. And when I applied it to my own life, I realized that I really didn't have many answers to my questions about why am I here. And I realized that I'd become institutionalized. I'd been there for 18 years. I could only think in the ways of a big corporate empire, which was, what can I get out of this thing today? What's in it for me? I remember having a day sitting on my sofa, which cost me £5,000, listening to my £3,000 hi-fi. And I had this voice that said, this isn't it. I was wasting thousands of pounds driving a car I didn't need, staying in hotels that were all the same, and became very disenchanted. I left the company, I left my relationship, I sold my property, and started trying to work out what it was I was going to do with my life. And that was horrific, because I realized I didn't really know anything about myself. NLP gives you more understanding of what's happening for yourself and an appreciation for what might be happening for other people. So I realized I'd come so far on my own, and it had been a really valuable struggle for me to come that far on my own. But now I needed some help and some support to kind of show me where I might go with this next. The first time I called Asaf, he was very softly spoken. So he agreed to see me. And I sat down in his chair and he stared at me and he said something along the lines of, why don't you shut up? Why don't you just shut up talking bullshit? You know, I don't want to hear it. I'm not interested in what you think. I want to talk about what's really going on for you. And it gave me a kind of a role model.
Nobody will ever fully know me better than I know myself. So how can I surrender to both allow someone to tell me what is for them and use it as a process for growth, and at the same time insist on the core truths and on my conviction is kind of a dance that is forever moving and never has an answer. For me, psyche includes body. The fact that due to many, many years of fear, we kind of limited ourselves to believe that the psyche resides in our head doesn't mean that it really does. For me, psyche is an embodied entity. For me, touch helps concretize that. And particularly because psychotherapy for so many years contributed to the split. That if your back aches, go to see a massage therapist. If you've been eating shit and so you're not functioning properly, go see a nutritionist. If your emotions are a bit unsorted, go see a psychotherapist. I think we practitioners and therapists have some kind of a duty to challenge that fantasy that splitting ourselves has advantages like that.
Asaf was born and raised in Jerusalem. When he was only 6 months old, his father was sent out to war.
I was a really, really lonely child. Even when people noticed me, I was already far gone into my own fantasies.
According to Asaf, his father's prolonged absence created a loneliness and a desire for touch and communication. Asaf studied psychology at university and realized that he was still missing personal touch. Simultaneously, he began to study massage therapy, discovering the unmediated connection he was seeking. Asaf pursued academic and clinical studies of body psychotherapy, NLP therapy, hypnosis, and self-relations, gaining tools for helping trauma victims. Today, Asaf is an accredited psychotherapist in Britain and Europe and a sought-after trainer. He is currently completing his PhD and is committed to ongoing training and development.
Somehow, my wound has become my gift, and it still fucking hurts.
This bore IMT, a therapy that provides uncompromised analytical depth whilst relating to the body and staying connected to magic.
A lot of people often ask me what kind of therapy I should seek. Should I go to psychoanalysis or clinical psychology? What I believe is that methods don't help. People do. So when you're looking for a therapist or a therapy, look for a relationship. Look for a person that you feel that can accept you, but also challenge you, that can make you feel at home, but also continuously challenging you to be more of who you are.
During the workshop, the participants practice exercises together that aid them in fine-tuning their internal resonance. Resonance is a socio-biological phenomenon wherein a relationship serves as an amplifier. What happens within the other affects us too. This tool, which brings together relational therapy perspectives and body awareness, requires a lot of practice, but once acquired, will serve each person by deepening their relationship with themselves and others. This is where the magic happens.
I say something, and I pick up your response to that, and that in turn will change what I say next. Our bodies are always picking up the expression of the other person. It's making an impression.
I am not interested in sitting and analyzing, because then I'm going home and I'm no better than I've left. I might be cleverer, but I'm no better. If I'm working through someone's soul and someone's heart, it means I'm working through my soul and my heart, and I'm better for it.
So most people, you say, what do you want? And they say, oh, well, I don't want to be old and grey. You say, well, what do you want? And they say, well, you know, I don't want to be poor. So, well, what do you want? Is that it's about having choice over your thoughts, how they affect your emotional state, how they affect your communication and your relationships with yourself and the world around you.
I feel depressed if my life isn't full of music, so I try to use it. Also, music encourages us to move, and when we get stuck in our bodies, we get stuck in our minds, and we get stuck in our souls. And when we get mobilized in our bodies, we can get mobilized in our minds. And also, it also takes a little bit away taking it too seriously. And I think for therapy to succeed, you have to not take it too seriously.
Tara is married to Richard. She is 35 and a mother to a 5-year-old son. Tara was born in Canada and has been studying naturopathy for several years. After attending a workshop, she decided to move towards one-on-one therapy. Tara describes her motivation for seeking therapy as a search for her own voice.
He's teaching me tools that I can use, not just on an intimate personal level and a psychotherapeutic level, but also understanding dynamics and how to get to things that aren't being said. I come to these workshops so that I can remember that I'm human.
My base, my home, is one-on-one. But the more years I've been practicing, the more I notice that it's not enough. That if I want to really help I need to help other therapists to convey what I'm trying to convey to other therapists.
I've never worked with Asaf one-on-one.
In a group, unlike in one-to-one, there's a shared responsibility. The group is holding me as much as I'm holding the members of the group. So it's a bit less hard work. There's much more responsibility in one-to-one.
I'm excited. I think it'll be fun. I look forward to it being playful and experimental and experiential, very deep. And you know, I love Asaf. I think he's a wonderful person, so I think I know it will be good fun.
Whenever I prepare for a client, I try to get to the clinic an hour before I start because I work quite intimately. I want to feel really secure and boundaried and safe and at home.
Hello. You know, I've really, for the last 4 years since Thomas was born, I've been thinking in my head that I wanted to have another one. And I had some problems during the birth. Richard, you know, really doesn't want me to take any risks, which is completely understandable, but I had mentally convinced myself that the risks were low. And then when I pulled out documentation to take to our GP, I thought that the statistics were 2 to 3%, but it's 20 to 30%. So I was wrong. I had falsely, you know, led myself to believe that it was something else. And there's no more, yeah.
No more.
No.
No more what?
No more, no more babies, no more. And, you know, I want a little girl.
Yeah. So Tara arrived with a very specific pain and a very specific wanting and kind of thinking that they were disconnected. And I think part of what I assume whenever I enter any session is that it's not a coincidence and that these themes will find their way of coming together. She started speaking, there were a few themes, one of the sadness of maybe not having another child, and one was of wanting to take space, both of which seemed disconnected. It sounds like it's compounded with a lot of feeling that if you can't have a girl, then your girl is lost.
My eyes, something's going on in my eyes.
Yeah. Just allow it even more. You don't have to fight it. I wouldn't know exactly what would be your ideal place to give birth. Is it outdoors? Yeah. I want to be allowed to be a midwife and support you through the pain and exhilaration and real expectation. Of finding out, that's right, just let that, finding out what giving birth to yourself. I usually start with trying to map the landscape and have a sense of where we might go, just to reduce a little bit of my anxiety of plunging into the unknown. And I think what happened is I've thrown a few ideas of directions then that we might take. I'm sitting and suddenly I feel a little fear inside of me.
I think it might kill me. I might die. I've never felt. I think the pain would be too unbearable.
How were you born?
I think I was born naturally, so...
Was it too much for Mom?
I don't know.
We worked a little bit with trance to find out, because when I don't know where to go, there are two main places where I go to get answers. One is through trance, to dive deeper into a place where we can draw better resources from our unconscious. And second is our body, because I think both have more unmediated ways of getting into the truth.
My mum said something years ago about that I wasn't planned and that they were planning to have an abortion. It haunted me. I remember thinking, why would you tell me that? So I wonder if even that was...
No wonder you don't want to come out. No wonder it feels like the end. Once we've done both, I kind of forgot what I wanted to do, and then then the real magic started. Just allow it, baby, it's okay. I'm just the midwife. It's so good that you're here. It's so good that you're a girl. I love you. I'm so happy you came. Tara started to find her own rhythms of coming out, and it was a really, really moving process of giving birth to the girl that she always wanted to be, giving birth and coming into the world and being welcomed.
Like, I'm just so, it just seems so irresponsible and so selfish and so...
Just let your body, instead of thinking it through, just allow your body to move with it. Is there a voice that comes with it? A sound, words that may come with it? Push.
I'm stuck.
Can I help? Yeah?
Yeah.
Can I take an antagonist, please?
Yep. Let me go.
She would have aborted you.
Take it out. Take it out. God, I can't move.
Push, don't stop. Push. 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 You're coming out. It's okay. You're coming out. Push, push, push. There we go. There we go. More. 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 Acknowledging that touching in therapy is problematic is very important, and it is problematic, and it can introduce a lot of sexual complexities and a lot of power complexities, and finding ways of doing it ethically is a lifelong journey.
We'll plan to meet for a few more sessions, and in those sessions I have no idea what to expect. I think that's the magic as well of it. It's frightening, but it's also liberating because it gives me a chance to explore a part of myself I've never seen.
And my own agenda is to help you get a taste of being seen that you might have gotten before, help you develop dependency to being hungry for life, to the nectar, to the joys that life can offer, so that when I slowly withdraw from our relationship and frustrate you slightly by not giving you what you want, you will seek it outside.
So today, whatever else is happening in my life, if my cash flow is tight, it's just my cash flow. As a human being, I know how to fulfill myself and how to be useful.
We all go to therapy partly with a fantasy that there's a big daddy here, the big daddy that has all the answers, that knows better than us what we need to do, that if we just sit quietly and say, please, please tell me what to do, what I need to become, what I need to be, they will tell us. We all want that, someone that will give us the right answer and fix it all. I don't think that this is what we need. Somehow, kind of embarrassing. We need someone that will dare and say with us, I'm not sure, but let's play. I don't know, but we can find out together. If there's anything one should feel guilty about, I believe, is living meaninglessly. Meaningful life doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a therapist or a healer or make programs that will change people's life. Sometimes it's enough to be a mother or to sit in your balcony and to be mindful of your breath for a second. But I really truly believe that a commitment for a meaningful life is essential.
During therapy, Asaf creates a close intimacy with his clients, which enables powerful transformation, yet raises questions regarding the boundaries between therapy and personal life. Asaf and his wife Tom, a scientist and doctor in the field of cancer research, know that a strong family base helps maintain this delicate balance.
Part of the things that I realized in the last few years is that I need that. I really need that connection. Part of the reason that I'm working is because however much in love I am with my wife, and I am very deeply in love with her, and however much in love I am with my daughter, and however many loving friends I have, there is a place in me that is so lonely and so yearning to reach out and connect, and that when that connection takes place, I feel less alone. And when I feel less alone, something in the circuit closes and opens. To recognize that whatever you experience is relevant and is undeniably belonging to that.
Asaf continues to take personal provisional steps by attending regular supervision sessions and undergoing psychotherapy.
Any agency that offers potency is potentially dangerous, but to not use it because of its danger is, I think, irresponsible. To use it without being mindful of its dangers is just as irresponsible. And touch is one of the very basic, potent agencies that are available to us as humans. So thank you very much. Thank you for giving me your weekend and for allowing that to take place. And thank you very much for not scaring me too much. I'm looking forward to your labor of love. Basta. I feel that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm not a public person. I do that because I feel it's important. Don't ever compromise the search for meaning because dying with a nice house and a mortgage doing the work that you hate doing is worse than having lived, a little more stressfully, but finding a place where your heart can sing. So to deliver these questions fully, I feel, is what I need to do.
Asaf has once again managed to move me. I admire his deep commitment to his clients, his students, and his therapeutic path. I also love his willingness to sincerely surrender to the unfolding process, to give and to receive, and above all, his brave and relentless dedication to pursue his path, even in the face of adversity. Aren't these life-changing qualities?